Let's go. Let's go.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to the Live Games Season 1, Episode 18, The Average Man's Perspective on Football. I'm your co-host, Marcus. Joining me on the panel tonight is Brian, a.k.a. Eddie Kane Jr.
Not funny.
Say what up, Brian.
What up?
If y'all get that reference, go ahead and comment in the comment section. Herman, say what up, Herman.
Hey.
And Mark.
Good evening.
Before we get started, I want to encourage you to head on over to sportsintel.net for some great commentary and opinion on everything sports related. Once again, that's sportsintel.net. Also want to encourage you to check us out on Twitter. What's the Twitter handle, Brian?
It's a delayed game at delayed game 3.
At delayed game 3. Also encourage you to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that like button. Share the video to all your football fans, football friends who are fans. And also hit the subscribe button to get notifications wherever we go live. We come to you a day early because we had a scheduling conflict for tomorrow. And let's go ahead and get started.
All right, well, we thank y'all for joining us tonight. Like Marcus said, we're a day early, scheduling conflict stuff. So we're going to jump right into our last week's games. And we're going to start with the Thursday night game, the Chargers at the Chiefs. I'll start off with this one. I picked the Chiefs. I thought it would be a close game. I thought it would be a close game. Actually, I don't think I did. I thought the Chiefs were actually going to blow the Chargers out, or it wouldn't be that close. But the Chargers won this one on a bold move by their head coach, going for 2. And we've seen it all year long. It's great when it works, and it's not when it doesn't work. But this time it worked, and it was great for them. So, Brian, who'd you have?
I actually picked this one right. I had the Chargers on this one. And like Herman said, I mean, it was a close game. And if it wasn't for a gutsy call by the Chargers coach, the Chiefs really had this game in hand and should have won. The Chargers got down there, got that touchdown, did that 2-point conversion, and went home with that victory.
Mark, how about you?
I chose the Chargers on this one too. Great game again for Phillip Rivers. Once again in this game, you had a couple of calls that were questionable. You had one helmet to helmet on Rivers that I love his comment afterwards was he's seen a lot of guys get that call. Woo! But hey, the Chargers, man, they're a hot team. I took the Chargers and I was successful with it.
Marcus, who'd you have?
I took the Chiefs. I think I was expecting a much higher scoring game, but 29-28 is still, pretty high. And, the problem is, Kansas City's defense, that's going to be a problem for them, in the postseason as well. And just like you said, that the coach, and if you look back at the tape, he said it with conviction. Like, he didn't even second guess it. He was like, we're going for 2. And, that always makes me think of Herm Edwards. You play to win the game. And that's what he came to do. And, like if it had gone wrong, they've been talking trash about him. But I think it still would have been in a good spot, even if they had lost. But it worked out for him, so, hey.
I think that's the key to that. Even if they had lost the game, they're still sitting in a good spot. So he had a little bit of leeway to make that call.
And not only that, but like what Marcus was saying, the head coach, they said when they was doing that drive, he told Wizard Hunt, who's the offensive coordinator, he said, when we score this touchdown, have your 2-point play ready because we're going to go for it.
Yeah. So, and at least he was decisive about it. I mean, if you're going to do it, that's how you need to be. Don't hesitate. So. All right, so we're going to move into the Sunday night game, which was a little bit of a shocker. Eagles at the Rams. Mark, who'd you have?
I didn't choose good on this one. I took the Rams on it. I was surprised on how well the Eagles played this particular game. Gurley didn't do much as far as rushing. But the Eagles came out and they put it on them pretty much. And I took the Rams. So I lost on this one.
Marcus, who'd you have?
No, because I picked the Rams. I don't know what happened with the Rams. The Eagles came in there and we started to look like last year with Foles in there, and it just this can't. They cannot make the playoffs. It just can't. I've been dogging the Eagles all year, and if they turn around and with Foles back to the playoffs, I'm gonna really feel some kind of way about that. And actually, Gurley he was 12 of 48. He had 2 touchdowns, and he averaged 4 yards. He averaged 4 yards per carry. The problem is he only had 12 carries.
Yeah.
But part of that because he hurt his knee.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay. What quarter was that?
Third, I think it was.
Well, it's obvious that the Rams are a very, play action team. That's how. If you go back and look at how they score most times, it's through play action, set up the run, and without Gurley getting that ball more and running more, then they can't put up the points they usually used to putting up.
Marcus, Brian, who'd you have?
Yeah, I picked this one wrong. I think we all did this one wrong because I had the Rams. I didn't think this was going to be much of a game, but I got to give credit to the Eagles. Like I said, when Nick Foles, the offense looked a whole lot better. They was able to run the ball. He had that little RPO thing going. And Jared Goff just didn't look good. Lately he's just been throwing picks and been pressured and just hasn't been very, very comfortable in the pocket like he was. I don't know if it's because he lost Cooper Kupp or what's going on. I know, like I said, the running back, he did hurt his knee. Matter of fact, he's questionable for this week. They just signed C.J. Anderson as a backup just in case. But the Rams got to do something to get it back together. They did not look good at all in this game, offense, defense, and special teams.
Yeah, this is the worst time to start slowing down.
It is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I picked the Rams too. If y'all remember, I said that it was going to be interesting with Foles back at quarterback. I wasn't confident enough to pick the Eagles, but I just felt like the Eagles offense was going to. Yeah, and the reason nobody has talked about the fact that Wentz has played bad. He's part of their problem that they were having too. And now you got, Foles in there. I think Jeffrey's had 180 yards receiving.
Yeah, 170.
Yeah.
They have a good connection.
They do. He's getting the ball out there to the receivers, and all of a sudden, a little bit of run game. They got Smallwood back.
Yeah.
So the run game came to life.
And the old man.
And Sproles. Yeah, he was out there doing it too. So, in all honesty, I hope somebody beats him because I don't want him in the playoffs.
Well, they play the Saints this week, so.
No, they play.
You play Houston?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Texans at home.
And you don't want that fairy tale a second time in a row.
No, we can't. No, we need to shut that down now.
Yeah, let's keep the Eagles with just one Super Bowl and for the NFC East. Keep them where they at. We don't need them to do no more.
You said the head can't fit to do it now.
No, we don't need none of that. We're gonna move on to the Monday night game. Saints at the Panthers. The Saints squeaked out a win on this one, 12-9. Real close game. You expect close games with the divisional games, but this is another one where this offense, one of these high-power offenses, are slowing down. I got this right. I picked the Saints, but I sure expected it to be – I expected them to do more than what they did. Brian, who'd you have?
Yeah, I had the Saints too, but like you were saying, 12-9 was not the score I was looking for. It's just like neither offense, especially Cam. There's something seriously wrong with Cam. Cam is just not himself this season. He can't throw the deep ball. It's very hesitant to run, and his shoulder just isn't where it's supposed to be. And I'm really shocked. Because this squad was 6-2, and now they're what?
6-8.
6-8. So, at one point, do you let someone else take the reins because you're just hurting your team? You're not helping your team. They basically all the Saints had to do was stop the running back. That's really all they had. The receivers weren't doing anything. They already lost their star tight end. So, that offense is really one-dimensional. And if you can get McCaffrey down, then you don't got to worry about him. So, it was a good win for the Saints. The Saints defense looked nice, but I did expect more for their offense.
Marcus, who'd you have?
I picked the Saints, and they barely pulled it out. And like these high flying offenses, they're not looking that great this late in the year. And this is wrong. This is a bad time to stop looking as good as it used to be. And speaking on Cam, Cam, he looked like he was hurting. That penalty he took when he had that hit to the face.
Yeah.
Man, the look on his face, I was like,
it hurt.
It looked like he was in serious pain, and when you saw him kneeling in the huddle, and he was the last one to get up and take a hot second after everyone had left and then got back up again. It looks like he's really playing hurt. So you're right. He might be hurting the team more than helping the team.
He was doing that a lot during the game. That waiting and staying on that knee and then getting up and coming to the line of scrimmage.
Mm-hmm. He was always the very last one.
Mark, who'd you get?
This one I chose the Saints. Big key thing in this game too with time possession. Saints was 35 minutes and 9 seconds compared to 24 and 51, so they dominated as far as time of possession. Defense played great for him as far as really he didn't they really had to defend half the field because he wasn't throwing it long at all. But I took the Saints and Breeze wasn't impressive much with the but the turnovers were another big key in it too.
And that's the thing. Breeze they said he's thrown an interception I think in the last 4 games.
Yeah.
They people. I mean, it's filmed there now. I guess it's showing people what you need to do to stop Breeze and the Rams too. We'll talk about it a little later on Hot Topics. But going back to Cam, whose responsibility is it to if he needs to get out the game? Who needs to take him out the game? Should the head coach do this? I mean, do you do that? I mean, he's your star.
I mean, I don't know who the backup is, but
Anderson?
Unknown.
I know.
Not Chris.
So-
Man, that's what I'm saying. You don't even know who their backup is.
So basically, if you bench him, you're basically admitting your season is over at that point, though.
It seems that way, yeah. So
eventually you're gonna have to come to the point where you're gonna have to let Cam rest that shoulder. You can expect anything next year.
Well,
this year is pretty much done.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Yeah, if you feel like this year's done, then yeah, you will.
Well, actually, I think they are in the hunt. No, they're still in the hunt. They're still in the hunt.
But they got the slimmest chance. I mean, the Redskins have a better chance than the Panthers have.
That's true. Yeah. All right, so
that was a dig, Mark.
Whatever.
Maybe the Skins will make the wild card. I'd like to see that.
That would be nice.
Knock their asses. Oh, all right. So we're gonna move on to the Patriots and the Steelers game. I'll start off with this one. I picked the Steelers. This was a game that they won and they had to win. Like when it came down to that fourth quarter and stopping the Patriots from tying that game up, the animal had to come out and they had to win that game, and they did. Brady is doing some uncharacteristic things, throwing picks in the red zone.
Ugly picks too.
Yeah, very ugly, like looking like rookie type throws that shouldn't have been made. So, I got this one right. I picked the Steelers. I said it all year about the Patriots. That Patriots team, it shouldn't scare anybody. I feel like they're very beatable,
especially on the road. Yeah,
it's just not that Patriots team that you're used to seeing, and it just makes you wonder why. What's going on. Who'd you have, Marcus?
I picked the Steelers. I just felt like Steelers are a good team. They need a good team. They don't keep losing like this. And this was a game they had to win. And I thought Mike Tomlin's the coach and the talent they got. Being
Marcus, who did you pick?
The Steelers.
He actually did, yeah.
Yeah, I picked the Steelers.
So I know it's a shocker, right?
Yeah.
I just felt like they could, being that the back was against the wall, they were going to pull it out, and they did.
Brian, who'd you have?
Yeah, I went with you guys too. I picked the Steelers. For some reason, like Mark said, I just had a feeling that the Steelers was pushed against the wall. Baltimore's right on their heels, and they already had this game circled to play the Patriots. It was at their house. They had everything to lose, and I mean they played a great game. You really can't take anything from the Steelers. Defensively, they played very well against Brady. Gronk didn't really hurt them. They didn't really get a strong running game with can't remember the running back's name, but
Sonny
Michel. Yeah, Michelle. Thank you. And I mean the Steelers made plays when they had to make plays. I mean, AB got into the end zone. They're third running back, second running back? I guess second running back. He had a great game. Had I think 170 some all-purpose yards in the game. So
yeah, Jalen Samuels.
Yeah, I give hats off to the Steelers. They did a great job.
And Mark, bring it on home.
This one, I'm proud to say I'm eating crow on it. I did not believe the Steelers would pull this one off, but I'm happy though. I'm happy I lost this game,
especially from the messages we got after.
One thing he talked about the running game. Samuels was 19 carries for 142 yards rushing. That was a big difference in the game. I got two coworkers who work with me. Shout out to Biscuit and Amy. They are New England fans, and they cried about how the penalties were more so against New England than Pittsburgh, that they were penalized a lot more. It's like
14 penalties.
it's whatever.
They're not used to that.
No, they're not. I did worry at one time. Boswell was in field goal range and missed that field goal earlier. I got a little mad, a little worried about that one. And then when Brady, and I said it was too much time on the clock when Brady got that 2-minute drive and he had it going. There was two key things for that defense. They were double covering Gronk for
they took
one.
him out.
They took him out. What they're supposed to do, and they kept the guys in the coverage. There was a one play where New England got a false start call where they had Gronk 1-on-1 with the cornerback, Joe Hayden. But because the call got called for the play got called out, they ended up Pittsburgh ended up changing up the defense lineup. Yeah. So I think that was a big turning point or a big reason why we won it. Yeah. They kept giving different looks.
I did like that they committed to, if you beat us, it's not going to be with Gronk. And teams won't do that. Take that main dude away. Take him away and be like, you're going to beat us somewhere else. It's not going to happen with your main guy.
And another thing, they used their weapons. They threw to a couple other wide receivers other than AB and Juju. So they
Washington had a big game.
Yeah,
and on the Patriots side of it, Gordon, he really doesn't seem to be fitting into that mold like they needed him to. I expected a bigger season from him, but he was basically a non-factor.
Yeah, he was not a factor at all.
Yeah, he only had one catch for 19 yards.
Yeah,
he's only targeted twice, so.
Yeah, so that's he can only catch what's thrown at him. That's interesting.
But yeah, I lost it, but I'm okay though. I'm all right.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up. The last game of the that we picked this week. All right, so let's move on to week 6. Cowboys at the Colts. Marcus, Cowboys lost on this one. Marcus, who'd you have?
I picked the Cowboys. I don't know what the hell happened in that game. Either the Colts are better than I expected them to be. I was doubting them more than I should have, and just the Cowboys. I guess they got on that 5-game winning streak, and they just hit a low point. They had a chance to clinch the NFC East, and make my prediction come right, and they didn't do it. And I definitely wasn't expecting a blowout, but I think you still see the problems with Dak and the offense, and if Dak needs some work in the offseason. Dak definitely needs some work in the offseason. He needs to maybe, like you keep saying, he needs a new quarterback coach. He definitely needs to get a new quarterback coach and do some work. Because I don't think Jerry can't pay him any big money the way he's playing right now. That would definitely be a mistake, for what I'm concerned. Now you can give Zeke all the money he wants, but you can't pay Dak if he's playing like this.
Mark, who'd you have?
I chose the Cowboys in this particular one. I think this might be the last time I'm picking the Cowboys.
Don't worry, they won't be on the schedule.
I pretty much thought that if Zeke was able to be effective and run the ball great enough, they would win. I didn't think it would be Marlon Mack, who rushed for 27 attempts for 139 yards, compared to Zeke's 18 to 87 yards. So I think
that's not bad. Just need to run more.
Bad, but I would imagine Mack being
the zero in the touchdown.
Zero touchdown. Yeah. And Mack got 2. So I didn't think that would have been the change. The two we ended up switching roles there, but I lost.
Yeah, I went with the Cowboys. I got this one wrong too. I don't know what was more disappointing, how bad the offense played or how bad the defense played, and I think it's the defense because I didn't expect our offense to come out there and look like any type of juggernaut because they haven't done that any this season, but the defense, in my opinion, they're reading their own headlines. They're reading their own press clippings. You don't show up out there and put that crap on the field. Don't get me wrong. The Colts are good. They got a little bit of weapons here and there, but that defense did show up. Neither side of the ball showed up, and it was a classic case of the Cowboys when they have a chance to clinch the NFC East. It's like we don't like to do anything easy. So, it was just an all-around pathetic display on the field. And I hope that this was a wake-up for him. Maybe it was just they went on their 5-game win streak and they did hit that. They hit that wall. They hit that one thing. Now it's time to start the win streak back up again. This week. But you keep putting that type of crap on the field, you're gonna be at home on the sofa real fast. Brian, who you got?
So of course I went with the Cowboys. Very very disappointed in this game. The Colts got shut out earlier in the season, 0-6 against the Jaguars. They shut out the Cowboys 23-0. The Cowboys offense was moving the ball in the first half. They were getting down there. They got down on their first drive to kick a field goal. Field goal gets blocked. That happens. The next time they get down there, they're 4th and 1. Instead of 7-0 at this time. Instead of kicking the field goal, putting your defense on and doing what you do, we're chasing bread. I don't know why we were chasing points, but we're chasing points, so we decided to go for it on 4th and 1. Z just gets stuck. The Colts take the ball, go back down the field the other way. So the rest of the game, we're consistently chasing points. We got down there near the end of the game. We were in field goal range, could have kicked the field goal, went for it on 4th and long, just because we needed to catch points. So the offense didn't play well. The defense didn't play well. Coaching didn't do well. And like Herman said, I think everybody in that, or especially on that defense, was reading those clippings. I think they were feeling like they were the best defense in the world. Couldn't nobody stop, and all they had to do was show up on the field. I hope that because this team is just a young team, average age about 24, 25 years old in the squad, that they learn this lesson and get back to basics. Do what you do, be hungry, and, up against Tampa Bay, you better win this game because this was embarrassing.
Yeah. All right.
And I blame Herman for that loss, too, because he made us pick this game after I told him, let's not do this game.
Needed to be picked, though. I mean, obviously it was.
We could have been talking about Aaron Rodgers right now and how he's a debacle.
We're going to move on to the Week 16 picks. First game up should be a good one. Baltimore at the Chargers. I'll start this one off. I'm going to go with the Chargers. They are definitely, again, the hot team right now. I always keep going back to Baltimore. I don't like the way that they're playing their quarterback. Lamar Jackson is not going to make it if they keep playing this kid like that. I just don't like it. He's a quarterback. He ran in his early years in college, but he did start to throw more towards the end of his years in college. They need to let this dude throw the football. And he needs to be smart. If the team's not going to protect him, he better protect himself. So I'm going with the Chargers on this one. Marcus, who you got?
This is gonna be I think it's gonna be a good game. The Chargers are 4th in scoring offense, and the Ravens are 1st in scoring defense. So it's kind of hard to say because defense is starting to do their thing now, and they're starting to shut down these offenses. But like you said, the Chargers are hot, so I'm gonna go ahead and take Phillip Rivers and the Chargers.
Brian?
I'm also going to go with the Chargers with Marcus. Like I said, the Chargers are hot. Their running back is coming back in this particular game. Baltimore is, like Herman saying, they're winning. I mean, they're running the ball like nobody's business. They have I forgot to write it down, but they're like number one when it comes to rushing. In the NFL, they're averaging like 200 some yards a game, which is all fine and dandy. But when Phillip Rivers starts getting, and they got the number 1 ranked defense too, so they can kind of shut Phillip Rivers down. But I think once they get the running game going, Phillip Rivers gets the running game going, gets that play action pass going back again. I just don't think that the Baltimore will have enough to keep up with the scoring, so I'm gonna go with the Chargers.
Mark, who you got?
This is another one where they're down to the backup running back, and he's been doing good. Gus Edwards has been running the ball pretty well, despite the Ravens' defense. I think the Chargers are gonna pull this one out again. They, like you said, they're just a hot team right now. It's hard to go against them. So I think we make this unanimous. We all take the Chargers on it. I'm going Chargers too.
All right, next game we got up should be another good one. These all have a lot of these have playoff implications on it. But we got the Steelers at the Saints. Brian, who you got on this one?
On this one, I'm gonna go with the Saints. The Saints right now, their record's still 12-2. Pittsburgh's 8-5-1. Pittsburgh fighting still to win the AFC North, or at least get in a wild card. New Orleans has theirs pretty much set. They are going to probably be the number 1 seed for the NFC. You got the number 7 offense and the 11th ranked defense, which I was kind of surprised. But Again, that's partly because they're number one in rushing because nobody runs against them. Pittsburgh's number 4 offense and number 3 pass offense, number 9th ranked defense. I just like in New Orleans, it's very tough. Pittsburgh just had a really tough game against New England. I just don't see them being able to do it back to back. So give me New Orleans.
Marcus, who you got?
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pick the Steelers. They need this game. I think the Steelers have to win out. Especially if the Ravens pull off a win against the Chargers, then the Steelers definitely need this game. I just feel like they know what's at stake, and they're going to pull it out. And the Saints, they probably should win this game too, but they don't need to win it as much as the Steelers do. I think the Steelers are coming more heart. They're going to punch the Saints in the mouth and win this game.
Yeah, I'm with you on it, Marcus. I'm going to go with the Steelers too on this one. I thought about it, and Eli Apple for the Saints. And Antonio.
You mean
Brown.
Toast?
Yeah,
Toast.
exactly. I feel like the Steelers' offense can keep up with the Saints. Even though the Saints are at home, it's a hard place to play, in New Orleans. But I just feel like the Steelers' offense can keep up with the Saints if this gets into a shootout. And I definitely feel like the Steelers have. I feel like their defense is a little stronger than the Saints. So, and like you said again, the Saints don't necessarily, they could have things wrapped up. They may not necessarily need this game as much as the Steelers. So I'm gonna roll with the Steelers. And Mark,
another tough week for the Steelers. One other thing, Mark, is you was talking about the he was talking about whether Steelers are still a game up on the Baltimore. So they're 3-1-1 compared to Baltimore being 2-3. So they still up. Tough one, but my heart says one thing, but my head says another. I'm taking the Saints in this one again.
You picking against your team 2 times in a row?
Yeah, man, he's doing that psychological.
Oh, is that what he's doing?
reversing
That
it.
Michael
So,
Irvin?
yeah.
Okay.
Call it whatever you want to. I think it's going to be awful hard to go down in New Orleans to beat the Saints,
Yeah.
especially after their Saints' performance last week.
Yeah.
I think they'll be out to prove something.
Yeah.
And it may be it's going to be against us. So.
To me, that's all the more reason why I think the Steelers are going to beat the Saints.
I don't think so. But I'll be happy to be wrong, though. I'm happy to be
It's
wrong.
hard to win in the Super Bowl.
It's definitely hard to win down there, but right now is when you want the Saints. They're reeling a little bit on offense.
Yeah.
They can't find themselves right now, and teams are really taking advantage of that. So
I'll be happy to talk to you about next week.
yeah, that's interesting. All right, we're gonna move on to the next one. Chiefs at the Seahawks. Marcus, let's start with you because we know how much you love Mahomes.
That is a hard one right there. This should be game of the week right here. You said this is at the Seahawks?
At the Seahawks, yes, sir.
The 12th man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pick the Seahawks. I think it's just rough to go in there and beat the Seahawks at home. And even though I believe hands down Mahomes is most likely to win the MVP at this point, if they can run the ball like they've been running the ball, Seahawks can, and keep Mahomes off the field. Kansas City's defense is a joke. I think they can pull it out.
Well, all right. I'll pick this one next. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. And it's funny you said that Kansas City's defense is a joke. The Seahawks' offense is a joke. They got a run game, but Russell Wilson ain't doing nothing. I go back to the one game, that Monday night game where they won. I think he threw 72 yards against Minnesota. And last week they beat.
No, they lost.
They lost at the last minute.
They just lost to San Francisco. And I don't know what his stats were in that game, but the biggest thing they'll have on their side is the 12th man, and the 12th man is going to shut up once the Chiefs put up about 25, 28 points on them. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs on this one. Mark, who you got on this one?
Tough one. You pretty much take the records and throw it out the window. Seattle does have a slight advantage by being and playing in Seattle with 12th man. It's tough, man. But I'm gonna have to take the Chiefs on it. I don't think Seattle's going to really be able to stay with them. I think this is going to be another high scoring game. I think this is going to be a high scoring.
I think the Chiefs are high score. I don't know about the Seahawks.
I'm taking the Chiefs.
Brian, who you?
How you gonna make me a lone wolf, Holly? You gonna make me a lone wolf?
Yeah.
Woo!
This here.
Kansas City is going to win this game, man. Seattle disappointed me terribly, man, with that awful loss to San Francisco, man. Everybody been beating San Francisco. What's wrong with Seattle?
Right.
And you needed that game. You needed that game to keep going in it to try to get this playoff run. Man, to see how like Herman said, all they have is a rushing game. They do have the number one rushing offense. But Kansas City has the number one offense together and the number two pass offense. Mahomes is sick. He's lighting it up. They really haven't slowed down offensively a little bit, but out of all the hard offenses, Kansas City is still pretty much running. It's the defense that gets hot in the beginning and kind of cools off at the end and lets teams get back in the game. But if they can get one complete game, this is definitely the one right here. Give me Kansas City.
Yeah, that's a good point. The Chiefs' offense hasn't really slowed down. They're the one offense that hasn't actually slowed down. Their defense is what's making these games stay close.
Yep.
That's a good point. All right, the next game we're moving on to, I don't even know why we're picking this.
I know.
Denver at Oakland. I'm going with Denver. Mark, who you got?
I think Oakland has Denver's record the last couple times they played. I'm going to take Oakland. I'm taking Oakland. I don't think they playing in Denver. They're playing in Oakland.
They're playing in Oakland. Which they may not have a place to stay next year.
Brian, who you got?
Man, I'm like Herman, man. I'm going with them. This is the boringest game. I tried to find some decent stats. There are none for these teams. Terrible. 22nd ranked defense versus the 23rd ranked offense. What is that? Give me Denver, man.
Pick for real. Marcus, who you got?
I'm going to go to Broncos. Like Brian just said, Oakland is last in scoring defense. So,
I hear it.
I mean, come on, man. To me, it's not even questionable. Broncos.
Yeah.
Let's hear it,
Mark.
Ow!
All right, let's move on to the next game. Now, this one should be more interesting. It has playoff implications. The Texans at the Eagles. Marcus, we'll let you start off with this one.
Well, the Texans are 11th in scoring offense, 5th in scoring defense, while the Eagles are 18th in scoring offense and 16th in scoring defense. I'm gonna pick the Texans. I want them to shut down this Cinderella story again. Let's keep the Eagles. Make sure the Eagles know their place, and we don't need them to win again. And think they're gonna even make the playoffs. So I'm gonna pick the Texans.
Mark, who you got on this one?
I'm gonna have to agree with you on this one, Marcus. I think the Eagles may not be enough to deal with the Houston. I think they're a hot team right now. The defense is on fire. I'm taking Houston on this one.
Brian, who you got?
A week ago, I would have had an easy pick on this game, no question. I would have told you exactly who was going to win. I was going to say Houston. Houston was going to win. Philly showed me something last week. Was that Sunday night or Monday night?
Mm-hmm.
Sunday night. Jeffrey had, like Herman said, had 8 receptions for 160 yards against the Rams. Now, the only person that beat him last week was Hopkins. Hopkins had 10 receptions for 170 yards, and he got 2 touchdowns. For that particular reason only, give me Houston.
And yeah, I'll wrap this one up. I'm going with Houston also. I just think that Foles gave them that little injection of life, and I think that Houston's going to choke that life out of them this one. He's going to come back to reality on this one. Houston has those pass rushers. They got a big boy in the middle who can stop the run. And Hopkins is going to torch that secondary. What's that corner's name? Haspy or something?
The one that we made cry.
The one that just, yeah, man. I'm going with Houston on that one. All right, so the last game we're going to pick this week is the Bengals at the Browns. It's an interesting AFC North game, and Yeah, it's another sleeper. But hey, the Browns are actually still in the hunt for the playoffs. So why not talk about them?
They're actually still in the hunt to win the division.
Yeah, that too. So yeah, let's
Small.
Let's talk about that. I'll start this one off. I'm gonna go with the Browns. The Bengals, they're packing the U-Hauls. They're packing the U-Hauls. The players now is like, I don't want to have to rehab all summer, off season, so I'm just not gonna get myself hurt. So I'm gonna go with the Browns on this one. Brian, who you got?
Man, I'm gonna switch it up on this one. I'm gonna take Cincinnati. These two teams aren't too dissimilar. I mean, Cincinnati's 6-8, and Cleveland's just 6-7-1. Cleveland has been hot the last few games. They've been winning. They've been playing really good offense and really good defense. But, slowly but surely, Joe Mixon is the number 4 rusher in the league. That joker has amassed 995 yards this season. Quiet as kept, and you never hear anybody really talk about him. But this was a boring pick. I mean, again, the 24th rushing defense against the 29th rushing defense. I mean, they're just boring teams, average. The only thing, the little spark is Baker Mayfield. Everybody's on this Baker Mayfield thing. But I think Cincinnati's going to bring Cleveland back down and let them know, say, we ain't going to the playoffs. Y'all ain't going to the playoffs.
Mark, who you got on this one?
It's funny. The Cleveland Browns head coach now, Greg Williams, he's won more games so far than they did all.
That's a dirty mark. That's a common.
They won more games. He's won more games coaching than they did all year long. Shoot,
the last 2 years.
Yeah, the last 2 years.
Right. Okay. Last 2 years. All right. I think the Browns are building up a little momentum here. I'm taking the Browns in this one. The only thing Cincinnati has is probably a good running game right now. That's because of Mixon. But I think Browns are hot. I'm taking the Browns.
And Marcus, who you got?
Well, the Bengals, they're 31st in scoring defense, only beaten by Oakland. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Browns. Baker Mayfield, he's doing his thing. He's hot. I think he's going to will those guys to a win and keep the Browns in the playoff hunt.
Yeah, I don't know. Something about Baker Mayfield, he's too cocky for me.
He is.
I mean, it's one thing to have confidence, but he's a little.
He is a little cocky, man.
Yeah.
But his players, his teammates rallying around him. They do.
Plus he's been an underdog all his entire college football career. So he feeling himself a little bit now.
I mean, a lot of times a lot of people compare him to Manziel, and I can see rightfully so.
That's not a good comparison.
Yeah, that's not.
Considering where his career went.
But I don't think Manziel was cocky. He was just stupid. It
was both.
Yeah.
It was a little bit of both. So. All right, so we're going to talk some hot topics for y'all. We've been mentioning it, with our picks throughout the show. What is going on with these high-powered offenses that are basically being shut down with what almost looks like ease?
And it seems like the teams now are getting a pass rush up the middle on these quarterbacks, which is slowing them down, not letting them be able to make decisions as quickly as possible. The Steelers was doing it to Brady. The Panthers were doing it to Breeze. I mean, you can
Cowboys
see
did. Yeah, Cowboys did it. Breeze.
Yeah, but you can just see it. The only one that's still able to do his thing regardless is Mahomes. That's Mahomes, a little young, a little more mobile. And that joker will throw the ball any old kind of way.
He can throw no little passes. That's why he's doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Reckless too.
But I mean, even Pittsburgh, with their vaunted offense, was still slowed down by not a very great, Patriots defense. 17 points. That's normally not their style. Patriots. I mean, I was expecting that game like 24-27, a lot higher scoring game, but it's just. I don't know if the defenses are catching up, if the offenses are just not there anymore, if it's the cold weather. It's hard to say what it is, but it's definitely changed.
I think it's a combination of both.
A little bit of,
it's getting cold.
But it hasn't been that cold.
No,
it's colder than it was in September though.
Chicago when they played the Rams, it was cold.
That's different. Yeah, that one.
But like you said, most teams, the offense always seem to have a jump on early season, and then the defense take a while to catch up. So I think it's a little combination.
Yeah, that is true too.
Both of them. But yeah, I think you got more film out there now. They're watching,
definitely,
and and people, it's a copycat league. They say it all the time. What you did against him, I do the same thing if I study, if I do right.
Yeah. Marcus, what about you?
Well, as far as the Rams go, I think people had just finally figured the Rams out. They've shut down Todd Gurley, and for the most part, the Rams are a play action team. Those passes, those down the field passes, they depend on doing play action, and with shutting down Gurley, there's no longer a threat. They got Jared Goff looking like back in the what's the old coach name, Jeff Fisher days, and it's just I think they figured him out, and Sean McVay's got to come up with something new to counter that, and just like you guys said, there's a lot of tape this late in the year, a lot of tape to go over, and once it's been shown that one team can do it, the next team watches that tape and just does the same thing.
So who's the worst offense right now? Who's struggling the most?
Out of the three high power out of the four high power probably the Rams.
Yeah, I think the Rams too, because even the Eagles was shutting them down. Was that Monday night? Sunday night?
Yeah.
I think in a little bit of the Rams' defense, they do have some injuries that finally catching up. Even if you look at that last drive that they had in the game, they had a chance to win that game. Go through the ball where a catchable wide receiver could have gotten it. He just didn't time to turn around and jump. But that ball was in the right spot for catching to get a touchdown. But he was, he's his third wide receiver maybe in the offense or so. So it's, their injuries is catching up with them too.
Yeah, but they do still have two good wide receivers. They still got Cooks and they still got
Robert Woods.
So. And like you said, Gurley out of the backfield was like one of their best threats. There was so many, passes to the Gurley,
Remember, his backup is hurt, so they don't give him a chance to really get out and get the downtime. And then with his I think the injuries catching up with him.
Yeah. And then what's up with their defense, though?
Yeah, their defense has been really
and
bad.
They just got back their corner.
To lead.
Hey, talking about defense, did you guys see Marcus Peters go challenge a heckler fan was talking to him? No. He turned around and went up the fan with him, and they had a couple of words, so they had to restrain Peters. Now I think he's going to get some discipline from the team for that, but
that was part of the reason why Kansas City let him go.
Yeah. You got to be careful who you talk to out there, for real. But he went after him.
So we wanted to talk about Joe Flacco. Pretty much the writing looks like it's on the wall for him next year. What are we thinking is a good fit for Joe Flacco possibly?
Redskins?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Really? I'm thinking the Raiders.
Wait a minute. So Derek, you saying Derek Carr is over?
Yeah, because I think that I don't think John Gruden
cares for Derek Carr.
Yeah, I don't think he cares for him very much. And John Gruden likes that older, experienced quarterback, and I liken this to like when he had Rich Gannon.
Yep. And then when he went to Tampa, he had Brad Johnson.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Flacco maybe go into the Raiders.
Yeah, but in that case, I would love for the Redskins to grab Derek Carr.
Of course, y'all would definitely.
Yeah, but because you're sitting there, you're trying to think of all the teams that could use a quarterback. Like the first time that kind of jumped out to me with the Bills, but they just drafted their quarterback.
Right.
So you got to give him a chance. Same thing with the Cardinals. They just drafted that kid. You develop.
You just have theirs.
Right. So does Flacco even get a starting job? Is he a backup next year? But the Raiders is actually very intriguing. I did not think about it that far. I was thinking they were going to probably keep with Derek Carr, but you're right. He does like the older veteran quarterback, and he likes to go deep. Mm-hmm. And, that's the one thing Flacco can do is definitely throw the ball deep.
If you protect Flacco, he's decent.
But then here's the other question then. Who's Baltimore's backup going to be? Not RG3 again. Next year again? Mm-hmm. You really want to – because like you were saying earlier, if they keep trying to run Jackson the way they are, he's not going to last the season. He's going to be an RG3. So you want the original RG3 to be your backup?
You always have this possibility too, and I was talking to some of my coworkers at work about this. Y'all remember in the offseason, this writing has been on the wall longer than you think, and this is going to get you to think about this. In the offseason, the Ravens wanted Kaepernick because they knew what their plan was. They were going after Lamar Jackson, and Kaepernick was going to be there. That's how they were going to roll with it. They couldn't do Kaepernick, so they got RG. Maybe they revisit Kaepernick in the offseason. Maybe they stick with RG. RG, now that he's back in, he's humble. He was a first-round draft pick. He still should have the talent. So,
the one little bit of time he got in, he didn't look that great.
Well, yeah, but he's back. He has to learn he almost have to learn to be a backup, I guess.
I don't know. I feel like That's the portion of it back. You need to be able to go in at a moment's notice. Just like,
well, yeah, if you
I'll give the Skins credit. If Colt McCoy had to come in, they felt like they could keep the offense still on and keep moving.
Because him and Kirk were almost the same quarterback.
So what the Skins do then? Who they go after?
They're going to
Derek Carr.
I think they need to draft. If y'all gonna start over, which you need to be starting over, head coach, possibly GM and everything, you need to go to the draft. But the thing is there's only a couple of quarterbacks coming out.
There's only 2 out there that I can think of that's ready, NFL ready.
But then again, whoever's above them in the draft, most of these teams that are really bad right now, they already got their quarterbacks.
You know what though? They may just roll with Colt.
They could.
Colt again? Yeah. Well, if Gruden is still there, probably so. But if Gruden's not there,
and that's could you really fault Gruden for this year?
Yeah, I don't care, man. He's been in long enough. He hasn't been successful. It's time to go.
5 years, and he hasn't only been to one playoffs. So
a lot of injuries.
Doesn't matter. He got this time to go.
I'm okay either way. If you decide, look, we ready to move on from Gruden, then I'm okay with that.
But who do you go? Who's that hot coach out there that you want?
KC's OC.
Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a couple college guys, that are available. It's all about. I think your problem's a little bit higher than your head coach, though.
It always has been. It always will be.
I'm not even going to the owner.
Snyder, y'all keep it. But Snyder really doesn't meddle that much.
He doesn't meddle.
I agree with you. I'm saying it's GM.
If your GM allows you to be decimated 2 years in a row on your offensive line,
and you didn't fix
that, that's a problem.
I agree. Last year, you should have addressed it.
Yeah, I mean that's a problem. So it's above the head coach.
I agree with that. But he still got to go anyway.
Shout out to Alex Smith, man. Get better. We heard you out of the hospital.
He's definitely not. I wouldn't come back if I was him. Take your guarantee. It's like $70 million.
Really?
Something like that.
I think I wouldn't come back either.
On the book for y'all for 2 years.
Yeah.
So
he has
take that money, enjoy your life.
Enjoy retirement.
And the last topic we were going to talk about was, is this the end of the Patriots dynasty?
Man, it's really looking like it. The Patriots are just not that same juggernaut offense. Defensively, they've always been average. Normally they're like that bend but don't break defense where they let you get a lot of yards, but they make you kick field goals.
Right.
But this year, the offense Brady just doesn't look comfortable making bad decisions. They finally got Edelman back. It's Edelman, right?
Yeah.
Edelman.
Yeah.
They so many little side receivers I had to remember, but Edelman, and Edelman is doing what he can, but it seems like that's the only person that Tom can go through.
He's dropping balls though.
He's dropping balls, and then Gordon just isn't what they planned him to be. They never found another receiver. Gronk is always questionable because if he's not getting double teamed, he's injured, so he's not in there. They did come up with a running game this year, but I don't know. I'm not going to write the Patriots off because every time we do, they go and show us who they really are, but it does look very questionable this year.
They can't keep the same formula of what they're doing or trying to do. It's everybody else is catching up. You got these like the Chiefs. You have these crazy high-powered offenses, and you're coaching. Coaching of course is important, but you got to get players. You have to have players, and Gronk is always hurt or in and out of the lineup, and they got tons of slot receivers. Gordon, maybe he needs another year to fit in this, what's going on, but Brady has to throw him the football too.
And it's hard for him to throw on his butt.
It's starting to look that way. It really is just starting to look like they're definitely not the Patriots that they used to be.
Their away record is the worst it's been.
Their what?
Their way record. They can't win away from
Gillette.
Wow. So if you do get them in the playoffs, do you play them away? I don't see them making it out of the first round.
Yeah, every game they lost this season has been away.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So yeah, I think, and don't get me wrong, I'm happy for it.
And if you look at the teams in the AFC, I know the Chargers ain't scared of them.
No.
I don't think that Baltimore will be scared of them.
No.
I know we already know the Steelers aren't scared of them.
Right.
So I mean, those who is it? The Titans? Are the Titans still in the playoff race too?
Yeah, still.
They might get. I mean,
And they beat the brakes off them this year. So
race off them earlier. So
they
even if they well, I mean they're going to win. The East, and they'll be in there. But whoever goes there, there's no guarantee that they're going to win their first playoff game. And it's not like it was before. I wouldn't bet the house on it.
Right.
well, let me as the resident Tom Brady fanboy here. Let me say this. It's over.
What?
It's over. The dynasty is dead. It's definitely over.
Yes.
Tom Brady isn't looking like the Tom Brady of old. Gronk. This is. I don't know if people realize this is probably Gronk's last year
Yes.
in New England. They tried to get rid of him. They tried to get rid of him last year,
Yeah.
but they couldn't get rid of him.
He was going to retire if they traded him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were close to trading him in Detroit.
Yeah.
He
said he was gonna retire.
Yeah.
Brady's not looking like he used to. Edelman's, he's dropping balls, and I mean, we all knew it was coming sooner or later. And like you said, I don't think no one's scared of the Patriots, especially if they get one game at home, one playoff game at home, if they win the East. But I don't think anybody's. If they got to go to KC, if they got to go to Houston, if they got to go to San Diego, they got to go to Pittsburgh.
They might be facing the Ravens coming in there as a wild card. They may not make it. They could lose at home.
And the Ravens had beat them at home before to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And the Patriots have not been to one Super Bowl when they didn't have home field advantage.
Yeah. That was another thing.
Yeah.
I saw that.
That's true.
Yep.
So much as I hate to say it, I think the dynasty may be over. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the offseason, because I think the Patriots of next year will look completely different from the Patriots of this year.
All right, well, that's going to wrap up the show for tonight. Marcus, you want to take us on out?
Sure. I want to just wish everyone a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Festivus.
Nice.
Whatever did you celebrate. Just want to encourage you to like, share, subscribe, hit that like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell icon so you get notified whenever we go live. Enjoy your holidays. We'll see you next Wednesday, day after Christmas. Same bad time, same bad channel. Peace, we out.
Did you shout out sportsintel.net?
Oh, my bad. Sportsintel.net. Go there and check them out. They just put out a good article I posted on our Facebook page before the show started. So go over there and check them out. And happy holidays, everybody. Later.
Just before we leave, just a quick shout out to myself and Darian. Good luck in the championship, but I hope that you lose in our fantasy squad. And
can I get a shout out?
Shout out to Herman and Maury in my league, which I did do very well. Good luck to Maury.
Kill it. Merry Christmas, y'all. Merry Christmas. Kill it.
I'm out of the playoffs.
In 2 weeks.